Thanks, Nick. Nick, coming into a game like this, knowing with each loss that you guys have maybe more pressure on you with each time you take the ice, how difficult is that to play the way you want to play, knowing how thin the margin is, if you will?
Well, I don't think it makes it difficult. I think it actually makes it easier. It's do or die. It's that's how important every shift is, and that's the mindset you have to have. And it's not lack of effort. It's not lack of try right now. There's none of that. It's not like the Detroit games. Now it's just we got to try to put one past them, and we're not going to win unless we score some goals here. So now that's the frustrating part. I think our effort and our attention to details have been better. I think we just don't have room for error right now. We do not have room for error. We make one mistake, it's in the back of our net, and that's just the way it's going right now for us. And we have to understand that. We almost have to play a perfect style of game where it's just checking, keep everything in front of us, and wait for our opportunities, and then boom, we can capitalize on something. And it seems like every time they get a little break, it's in the back of our net.
Yeah, 30 plus shots again tonight. I mean, you guys happy with the way you're creating those opportunities still?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting opportunities. There's you can't say we're not. We just got to put them in, and that's the difference right now. I don't know how else to say it to you guys. I mean, nobody wants to hear rhetoric. No one wants to hear the cliches. It's just that's where we're finding ourselves right now. We cannot afford to make a mistake. It's in the back of our net. And when you're getting goals and you're the one that's doing that to other teams. Right now, it's just not that way for us. We're not the team that's capitalizing on the mistakes that those teams are making. It's the other way around right now, and it's tough because it seems to be the difference in the games right now.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, next we'll go to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Glenn. Hey, Nick. You guys had some trouble in the third period, especially in the neutral zone. Are those one of those pucks is batted out of the air with the stick? I mean, I don't know if it's a turnover for sure, but is that a situation where you guys need to just be dumping the puck in and being simple? Are you trying to get too much there, or is that a bad bounce?
I mean, it's both. You want Cam Atkinson making plays through the middle. You want guys making plays through middle, and it always is easy to say after the fact when it ends up in your net, but that's where we're finding ourselves right now. Sometimes you find yourself where it gets through the guy, and now the guy's got a nice break and has a chance to shoot on net. So 2-0 game, you're also trying to press to get some goals here too, and that's where you want to try to play with the lead. That's why when you are down, you're pressing and teams can capitalize. That's one of the things that for so long here we've been so comfortable in playing those tight games, because that's really where we found ourselves a lot of times, and we'd wait for a team to make a mistake, and now boom, we can make it 3-1 instead of a 2-1 game. So that's just right now where we're at. It's hard. You want to play the right way, especially early on. We have to understand how important that is to the success of our team, is getting pucks in, forechecking, and being heavy. And especially we talked about we need to simplify our game. We talked about that going into Tampa, how simple we need to play, how direct, how defensive minded. And those are some of the plays that go into it. But you also don't want guys like Cam Atkinson and certain other players to be chipping pucks in every time. And, they also have the freedom and the ability to make plays. And, the guy bats one out of the air and it goes down the other end. So, you chalk that one up to tough luck, but more times than not, we need to get pucks in, obviously, and that's where our success comes from.
Nick, you guys put so much on this road trip, and rightly so. It's the results time of year. How tough is it to fly home at 1-5 when I think what happened in the Detroit games, but I think since then you feel like you played maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, that's the way it works. That's why it's so crucial to play the right way, to do the things necessary to win, because there's sometimes during the season where you play the right way and don't get the result. And so that's the disappointing part, is there's probably a few games here where we feel like we deserve better. But that's not the case. And so you can say what you need to say, but we're 1-5 right now, and at a time when we need to be 5-1. And so that's the disappointing part, but I am encouraged by the way we're playing, especially after that Detroit, games, and just how that made us feel. And we vowed to not have that happen again. And I'm proud to say that that's not the case the past 4 games, but we still need the results, and we're not getting them right now. And it's a hard one.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, next we'll go to Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Brian.
Nick, you guys obviously are creating a lot of chances, a lot of shots in the last 3 games. Puck's not going in, like you said. What does that do to a team, when the puck just doesn't go in? I mean, how hard is that to keep fighting through that? I have to imagine that's frustrating.
Well, it's frustrating, especially this time of year when you know how important it is, and you're not going to win unless you get some goals. So the guys that are used to scoring and want to score and want to help and want to get on the score sheet are pressing, but it's usually that ugly one that gets it going. It's usually that one that you throw to the paint and all of a sudden it bounces off somebody, and now you're rolling the other way. And we just got to get the ball to roll the other way and continue to fire pucks. And eventually, law of averages in this game, everyone's into analytics now. It's going to go in. So we have to just continue with that mindset. This stings. Obviously, nobody wants. It's 4 games in a row, or 3 games in a row we've lost here. So it's disappointing. And we know that more times than not, though, if we're doing the right things, we're going to have success. But like I said, going back to it, and these are those stretches sometimes in the season where you don't understand why. That's why it's so important to be consistent, and your effort and your abilities to win games is because you can fall into these where goalie gets hot, the team gets some lucky bounces, and we got to create our own luck right now. And, we're going to go fly back home, get in front of our fans again, and have a real good opportunity against a team that we seem to play really well against and rise to the occasion. And looking forward to that.
Are you guys also stunned at this point, or shocked or surprised or anything about, just where you're at in this thing compared to like what you've been able to do the last 3 or 4 years?
Well, I think you're disappointed anytime you're not in where you want to be. But that's not for us to look too far ahead. We're still just one game at a time. We know what's going on, guys. Let's be honest. We know what's going on around us and where we're sitting in the standings. But, you start worrying about that and you forget what's in front of you, and that's game by game and how you're getting better each and every day. So, we're going to worry about ourselves and more times than not, if we play the right way, like we have been, we're going to get wins. And, like I said, people don't want to hear the rhetoric. They don't want to. We got to find a way to get results, and it's desperation, obviously, right now.